What's good, my dope family? Peace and blessings. Welcome to Dope Discourse. It's your man Zay. Subscribe, like, drop down in the comment section, and hit that bell notification if you want to know when something new drop. This channel exists solely for the enlightenment, survival, and maturation of men. Today's topic, we're going to get into what it means to be an alpha man in 2020 and moving forward. And remember, the lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears that listen. Alright, let's get into a quick 30-second history lesson. Way back in primitive times, the alpha man was the most dominant man of the group. Most likely the biggest, strongest, meanest, etc. They provided protection and procreation to ensure the blood live and strong. You see the same concept a lot in the animal kingdom and elsewhere, where the biggest and the strongest is considered the most attractive and the most respected. At any time, you could be challenged for your throne or your spot of rulership through basic structured physical battle. Kind of like the Black Panther scene where, the local tribes or families were given the opportunity to claim the kingdom for themselves. So basically, an alpha man was more so an outward trait or just ideal genetics. Now, fast forward to 2020. I know I skipped a lot in between there, but stick with me. Fast forward to 2020 now. What does an alpha man look like now? Those physical traits are still relevant and are still ideal, but just aren't as necessary or needed these days. To be an alpha now is more so a mentality. To be a king is a mentality of rulership, assurance, discipline, structure, accountability to the utmost, the most among some things. So pretty much to be an alpha man is a lifestyle and a skill set in today's society. Not how much money you have, how many women you sleep with, the size of your house, type of car, or any other material gains in the physical sense. Although those things are nice, that's something that we all wish to attain one day. But you can very much attain all these riches the world has to offer and be beta as fuck. But back to the topic, now there's so many dynamics to being an alpha man in today's world. You can't just run up on your nearest neighbor with a sword and shield at hand and say, run that. Well, I guess you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. But you understand my sentiment. It's just not acceptable to walk in off the street and challenge a CEO to physical combat for his position of power. That's just not how it go these days. The dynamics of society structure actually gives the everyday male the chance to claim his alpha stature and remain in his masculine frame, no matter how alpha he's not. Now, to be a pure alpha in its truest essence takes years of mastering the craft and daily recalibration to create those habits to where you become it without a thought or correction. But you get a chance every day to take that journey, so you can't just wake up and claim your alpha and accept the perks that comes with it, because there's also a level of accountability you have to be willing to accept in order to thrive in your position. Now, I know I went off on a tangent, but back to the topic at hand, which is the different dynamics society gives the everyday man to be alpha in, certain situations or settings. For example, if you ever been in a room full of engineers, it's probably the biggest pissing contest you'll ever experience. Straight up. But physicality has no merit in that setting, or any corporate setting for that matter. It's more of a meeting of the minds. You know what I mean? Another example could be in the chef setting, where the head or lead chef is the most respected and most called upon for their knowledge and skills. They too could be alpha in that particular setting. So you kind of see the theme and can apply these same principles to any setting and situation, and you'll come out with an alpha. Now, those same men can be alpha in some settings and beta in others. It don't really translate. So those who aren't alpha in its purest form and just walk around alpha all the time, or sometimes alpha in certain settings, like whether it be at work or at home. Hell, some men aren't alpha at all and will never know what it means to be one, no matter how many videos they watch, weights they lift, women they smash. It's just something they can't attain due to their mental condition. They won't get out their own way pretty much, but that's another video for another day. Now that we've covered just some of the endless dynamics of being an alpha in today's society, let's be clear and concise. In today's world, to a degree, alphas are not born. We are groomed and raised and built up to remain in a masculine frame to keep society functioning. Without proper masculine leadership, nothing will get done and things will become stagnant and dysfunctional. So strong men are essential to life as water or oxygen, period. But in order to be that guiding force that grooms a child or leads a wife or lifts a community, you must first have yourselves in order. You cannot have a rulership mentality and you are unstable in embodying everything that is feminine in a man. If you haven't noticed, the roles are reversing and women are attempting to swap places with us, but they quickly regretting the fact that they have embraced everything feminism stands for. But I digress. Now there's a trinity we're all familiar with, which is mind, body, and soul. And all too often we forget about the mind and soul aspects of our existence. Bruh, you gotta get all three in order. Your mind, your body, and your soul. And there's nothing you can't have. But all too often as alpha men, we only focus on the body being in tip-top condition, but we walk around in a mental haze. And we're spiritually weak to carnal desires such as drugs, pornography, and even chasing likes on social media. What? You have to focus on all three aspects of yourself because one cannot function without the other. For example, if you're physically weak, then your mind tends to follow and make poor decisions based off your lack of mental fortitude. Being physically weak also affects your spiritual side because you don't possess the faith and wherewithal needed to be alpha. If you're mentally weak, you don't have the grit that's needed to get right physically, nor the strength to submit to a higher power to gain the spiritual discernment to navigate life and thrive. Finally, if you're spiritually weak, you can definitely get in good physical health, but it'll be surface and you'll get all the muscle gains you seek but fall victim to vanity and the Jezebel spirit, which is also a feminine trait to have. To be honest, I don't think I need to make the correlation between spiritual and mental weakness, but your judgment would pretty much be trash. So you see, those three key things have to be in order. Those are non-debatables. Plenty of people walk around now, men and women alike, not understanding why their life is so chaotic. And it's clear that they've neglected one, if not all of those things, and are in desperate need of recalibration. Straight up. I see I went off on another tangent, but tangents are good when it comes to the knowledge, to the game, because I get in this pocket in this zone where I can talk all day. But I've already talked past the average person's attention span. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. But, really you did it for yourself. But it's all good. It comes from a good place led by the Most High. I keep my house in order, which is another non-debatable. But in conclusion, there are many different dynamics to being an alpha today, so don't be blinded or deceived by those only pitching alphaness in a material sense when it's a very spiritual and mental ordeal, and physical is just as important. Don't get that twisted. So that gives hope to those of you who wish to be alpha. Look at it as a journey, similar to getting your black belt in martial arts or something. You walk into a dojo and receive what you were taught well enough, and you too may become a master, but it takes time. Be patient. You see a lot of alpha frauds, those who abuse the TV and try to embody some of the characteristics of those characters. Keyword, characters. You can't watch, read, or hear your way to a state of being. It takes conscious effort. As an alpha man, you have to constantly calibrate yourself spiritually. Constantly. But that too is another topic for another day. To keep it plain and simple, man, if you alpha, man, keep doing you, bro. We need more of us, man. We in high demand because it's just there's a lack of us right now. We in shortage. I would say probably about 10 to 20% of the population, if that. I might be being modest right now, but it's all good. And if you beta, there's hope for you. Don't give up on yourself. There's hope for you to come over to the alpha side, to convert yourself, but it's going to take time, patience, and practice and discipline. But you can do it. But at the same time, hey, the world needs you too. So if you beta and you like being beta, you don't want to come out of your beta-ness. Stay in it. You know what I'm saying? You making the world a better place for us alphas. But if you would like a little guidance, a little help, you're welcome to come to my dojo. Email me at dopediscourse@gmail.com for your free consultation and advice on life. Donations to the channel can be sent through PayPal or Cash App, both of which will be left in the description box right above the comment section. Your donations are greatly appreciated. I don't care if it's a penny, I don't care if it's $1. It comes from a good place, so I greatly appreciate it. It's just going to help the channel grow. It's just going to help me reach that many more men, that many more people. Remember, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that share button, and that bell icon so you can stay up on the latest from Dope Discourse. Shit, just hit every button on the screen except that dislike. But anyways, until next time, my dope family, I'm out.